Hello. The name of this show is Living Wisdom, and I'm Patty Paul. Today my topic is called Three Worlds, and I'm going to explain the three worlds that exist today and also the possibility of what our world will be like in the future. The concept for the three worlds is based on the belief system that each one of us creates our own reality, whether we take responsibility for it or not. Right now, in our personal life and on the world stage, each of us is creating our version of the world. The world, actually, the physical world, is a holographic illusion. This has been evidenced by discoveries in quantum physics and quantum mechanics, in the latest discoveries in astronomy. Going back 80 years, scientists at the cutting edge of their scientific disciplines determined that we indeed live in a holographic illusion of a world made up of energies and atoms and subatomic particles, all of which are moving at all times. When we focus our attention on them, they stand still. Because each of us is a part of the holographic illusion, it seems very real to us. But as anyone who has taken any kind of basic science classes knows, under a microscope we see molecules that are moving, we see atoms that are moving, and gases and energies and other. The first of the three worlds that I'm going to talk about that exists at this moment as we speak and has existed for thousands of years is a world based on fear of loss, fear of separation, fear of the unknown. And out of this fear arises anger and rage. Rage at feeling helpless and hopeless. And from the rage has emerged century after century, millennium after millennium of violence. The anger, the rage, the fear, the hopelessness, the sense of powerlessness manifests as violence. Violence against others, sometimes violence against ourselves as human beings and as a humanity. Violence against groups that we don't belong to. The violence, of course, results in pain, in suffering, and out of that, sorrow, despair. And oftentimes, it's a vicious cycle because from this fear, rage, violence, pain, once again going back to violence in the form of revenge. We blame other people, therefore punish other people, take revenge against other people. Sometimes we punish ourselves and subconsciously mete out some sort of revenge against ourselves. And the revenge, of course, is manifested from this feeling of it's not our fault, we've got to find somebody to blame, anybody to blame, and whatever target suits our belief system is the target of our violence, our revenge. And then part of this mix is this feeling that we, being helpless and hopeless, living in a fear-based world that must have violence, that must have revenge, we often feel ourselves to be the victim. Wallowing in self-pity. The more sophisticated version of victim is the martyr, the one who sacrifices for some noble cause with a secret belief that we will be vindicated, we will be rewarded in some future. And then hope is the other part of that. All in all, this world is based on being disempowered or believing that we are disempowered. This, in the modern world, we'll say, which goes back 6,000 years, this has been a pattern that's been repeated and repeated and repeated. I'll call this world the world of domination. Because out of this arises basic beliefs that in order to survive, you need to dominate, control, contain, confine, control others, contain the violence, confine the damage. So this world of domination, where we feel disempowered, a natural product of this world is those who want to dominate, who want to use these elements that most of the people are feeling in order to gain control over them. And the promise of gaining control, the promise is, I, the new authority figure, who now has the answers to your problems, I will take care of you. And in return, give me more of your power. If you look in our world today, you'll see groups of people, you'll see countries, you'll see nations, you'll see in every area, actually, where this is played out, where people are all too eager to give their power away to some authority figure who says, I'll fix it, I will take care of you, I will make your life okay. Sometimes the promise of the great reward is within the near future. Very often, especially in the area of religion, organized religion, the reward will come later, much later. Often it's after you've left the physical world, you'll get all of the goodies that you didn't get in the physical world while you were alive. You will be the one in charge. You will be the one sitting pretty, so to speak. That's the grand promise. And those who are willing to believe that secretly hope that it's true. Some stake their life on the fact that it's true. That because their life in this world, in this time, in this physical reality is so miserable because they've given their power away, because they are so eager to blame and be a victim and then try to take out revenge, that they hope and pray that they will be rewarded. It's very sad when you step back and you look at the big picture, because you see there is no way out here. There is just no way out. Now, a higher truth is that each of us absolutely does create our own reality every moment of the day. We do it with a set of raw materials that everybody has: beliefs and attitudes, thoughts and feelings, choices and decisions. And then we have tools to work and to carve and to use those raw materials with. Our tools are our imagination, our desire, and our expectancy. Everybody has those, whether you know about it or not. Everybody has the ability to take responsibility for creating their reality. What often is lacking is the willingness, because it seems so much easier to pretend to be victims and hope that we'll be taken care of. Like children who need parents to take care of them. But each of us is on our own spiritual journey. Humanity as a whole is on a spiritual journey to become a spiritual adult, to enter that area of adulthood. Therefore, we need to be our own spiritual adults, to take power back from those we've given it to take responsibility for ourselves, to look at our raw materials and see what isn't working that is creating this miserable existence that we may have in our lives and that we might see on the world stage. Or if our life is filled with love and happiness and success, then we know we're on the right track, that our raw materials and our tools are in line with our spiritual growth. This show is titled today, Three Worlds. So I'm going to talk about the second world that also exists. This is a world based on love, not fear, compassion, caring, understanding, love, self-love. Yeah, that's easy to say, but there's more to love than the common definitions. Love is a feeling. Love is a state of being. It's a way of acting. It's a way of viewing the world. Unconditional love is the ultimate goal. To love oneself unconditionally. And then when we move more into that area of love, we are able to love others more unconditionally, without particular reasons for loving them, just loving them for the beings they are. Understanding that each of us has value. Everybody has the same amount of value as a being, as a spiritual being. A homeless person on the streets of Los Angeles and the Pope have the same amount of value. The most horrendous serial killer and some sainted being such as, let's say, Mother Teresa, who is, I believe at this time, considered almost a saint. Each has the same intrinsic value as a being, as a human being, as a spiritual being, whether they know it or not. Self-esteem is different. What one does with one's life, that's based on the choices and the beliefs and the thoughts and feelings. But that's different from value, from basic value. So in this other world that's based on love, compassion, caring, understanding, also allowing others to be who they are and respecting accepting people, accepting yourself and accepting others. Accept. Now, my writing, I'm in a hurry, so I'm not going to print so carefully, but the essence of what I'm getting at is still here. Allowing, respecting, and accepting other people instead of taking revenge against them, instead of blaming them. Understand that each one of us is who we are based on the tools that we have and the skills that we have for living in this world. Unfortunately, when the skills and the tools and the raw materials arise out of this range of experience, this range of being that arises from this world of domination, our beliefs and our attitudes are twisted and distorted and are limiting. Our thoughts and feelings are often twisted. In this world, emotions have been undervalued because this world also is a world of chauvinism. This arose from a patriarchal mindset that basically said there can only be one supreme authority, and that because the masculine is superior to the feminine, that supreme authority at the highest level of spirituality will be a father god. And all organized religions that have been in place for the last 6,000 years at least are based on that chauvinistic attitude and belief that anything masculine is superior to feminine. And that has contributed a lot to the feeling of disempowerment, especially by women and by those who are not in, who don't understand that they are actually empowered and actually do create their own reality. The idea that there are saviors, that there are authorities who can take care of those who have no power, that also fits nicely in this world of chauvinism and domination. This world, the other world I'm talking about, where love, compassion, caring, understanding, allowing, respecting, and accepting others, this world we'll call the world of dominion. Now, what does that mean? Dominion, dominion. One definition might be to be at one with, but that doesn't quite explain it. The world of dominion is where each one feels empowered, where each one understands that they create their own reality and can consciously create the reality that they want if it's in their highest good with harm to none. So in this world of dominion, let's say we are at one with the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, with the mineral kingdom, the various aspects of our world, of the physical world. We're in dominion with the elements, fire, rain, earth, air, the elements. And that means weather as a part of Mother Nature, weather. Well, that's might be a difficult belief to aspire to. But this, what I'm talking about is, shall we say, more to learn about. I encourage whoever is watching to go on their own exploration of discovery, finding out how they can be more empowered. I wrote a book called A New Spirituality Beyond Religion, and the subtitle is, With Personal Growth That Leads to Spiritual Growth, the Human Being Becomes a Spiritual Being. And in this book, which is available in libraries and other places, I go into detail about how this reality creation works, and how to take more power, how to heal those raw materials that may be twisted or distorted, that limit you from creating the most loving and successful and happiest reality you can. So this would be one resource, but there are other books available on reality creation to help you move into this area of dominion with more love, more compassion, and caring toward yourself and towards others. In our world, in our holographic world, a hologram, each piece of the hologram contains all of the elements of the whole. That means in each of our personal realities, and I'll speak just about mine, in my personal reality, while I am learning more and more to take responsibility for creating a world based on dominion with these elements, my holographic version of reality, because it contains pieces of the whole, is also going to have part of this world, this domination, fear-based world. That's what we see on television. That's what we hear about in the news. What's going on in the world stage. And this is where having compassion, being caring, understanding, allowing, respecting and accepting, where we can utilize these elements of who we are to help mitigate this reality based on this violent world. In my book, again, I talk about techniques and tools that can help to use these elements that we want to develop within ourselves to mitigate and soften the impact of this on other human beings. Now, my talk today is 3 worlds. So where's the 3rd world? That's this one in between. That has, it's like a crossover. It has this in it and it has this in it. Most of us are in this part right here. It's a matter of choice which world each of us wants to bring forward in our reality. A matter of choice what we want our future to look like. The interesting thing about creating this world, moving out of this world and currently being in this world, is that the faster we incorporate and integrate these elements of love, compassion, caring, understanding, allowing, respecting, and accepting, the sooner we open ourselves to these, which actually come from higher realms. So it's about opening ourselves to the higher realms of our own existence, the higher realms of our own consciousness. The more we bring this down into our everyday being, the more we leave this world behind and create this one in the present. I want to thank you for your attention today. Again, the name of this show is Living Wisdom, and I'm Patty Paul, saying goodbye until the next time.